living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's providing, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. The kingdom of love, there's no competition, no contradiction, no control. But you can take possession and claim your passion, working on a building that cannot be bought or sold. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Step into the feeling of a sweet surrender. Let yourself remember who you are. You can take your own sweet time and ease your troubled mind in the secret sanctuary of the heart. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you've made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. There is room for all the kindness you can hold, and you know you can take it with you everywhere you go. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt, yes, you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, know without a doubt you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Dr. Susie Shadle. I welcome you to Unity of Sarasota, where something good is always happening. So welcome home, back to the holy ground that you've always known. This is it. This is the place. So I just have a couple of announcements. Yeah, what are they? That would be good if I knew what they were. Actually, what I wanted to let you know is that we're moving very rapidly into our holiday season. As you can see, Hanukkah has already started, and so we are honoring Hanukkah. Advent has started. We have lit the first candle of Advent, which was faith, or hope and faith. We lit that on Sunday, and we'll continue this Sunday. And then after we move through Advent on the 22nd of Wednesday, for the Wednesday evening service, we will have a handbell holiday music concert. That should be absolutely fabulous. So please be here for that and tell your friends. We'd love to fill the place up. I think it'll be absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, Friday evening, the 24th, will be the Christmas Eve candle lighting service based on the 12 powers. And then on the day after Christmas, we are celebrating Kwanzaa, and we're doing it authentically. We have all black presenters, all black performers doing the service, and also a festival afterward where we have food and poetry and music and drumming and all kinds of festivities. So prepare yourselves for all those holiday treats. And then when we start the new year on the 2nd of January, we will be doing a combined service with our burning bowl and our white stone ceremony, and we will do that outside. So there'll be an opportunity for you to either bring a lawn chair or listen on the FM radio in your car while you're watching through the windshield. So it should be kind of a fun holiday season. So I look forward to seeing all of you. Also, one other thing, the bookstore is open tonight after service. And it's a great place to get a jump on all your holiday shopping. There's some great stuff in there. They've got the story bracelets that are all have a spiritual story behind each one of them. The one I'm wearing tonight happens to be faith. So there are those. There's the book that many of us participated in writing during this COVID time, Pathways of Spiritual Awakening. We're also featuring those little willow tree angels. There's a whole bunch of those in there that are beautiful, and all kinds of other things, waterfalls and incense and all kinds of wonderful things. So think about doing some holiday shopping in there and supporting our bookstore. All right, so that's it. Let's move into prayer and get ourselves centered and fully present for this evening. And so I invite you to close your eyes if that feels appropriate for you. Otherwise, just create a soft focus, perhaps on the flame of one of the candles, or just be still. And feel the chair beneath you and imagine that it is God supporting you. And just feel that support and lean into it. And then let's get ourselves fully present and centered right here, right now in this moment by taking a deep breath into the center of your being. And hold that breath and then release it fully. And again, a deep breath in and feel the very living spirit move into the very center of your being. Feel that spirit there. It's always there, but focus on the feeling of it and then release the breath. Take a deep breath in, knowing that it is the inspiration, the in-breath of spirit. And as we breathe out, know that that exhalation is actually the individualized expression of each of us, of the one spirit. And so know that in our breathing in and our breathing out, we are in that divine flow and circulation that is the goodness of God. And that we allow ourselves to be fully present here in this moment, to let the past just be, allow the future to not have arrived yet, and simply be in the present moment, in full awareness and in full presence and power. Be here now. And let us each remember that each one of us is a divine expression of the one Spirit. And I give thanks for knowing this truth of each one of us, of all of us, of the one of us. And as we know this truth, let us make a commitment to living in, through, and as that truth, individually and collectively. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen.
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? And where do I start? Anything you pray for, if fear is in your way, I'm here to listen to anything you need to say. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. My prayer too. I hear the worries that are in your way. There's nothing I can do to take your pain away, but I'll help you reconnect with that voice that's deep inside. Let angels wrap you in their love. Let Spirit be your guide. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. 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 Your prayer is my prayer too.
Our daily word today is fearless, fearless. And the affirmation, within God, I stand fearless. Within God, I stand fearless. In the past, I may have believed fear would keep me safe and alert to danger. I understand now that fear siphons my energy and causes me to shrink from the fullness of life. My safety is in my awareness. Unlike fear, awareness keeps me present and responsive. I pay attention to fearful feelings and tune into the messages my distress is sending me. Any fear I feel may inform my awareness, but it does not control my actions. I remember there is no place I can be where God is not, no situation I ever face alone. God isn't just with me, God is within me. Embracing this divine protection, I am fearless, knowing all strength, support, wisdom, and love are mine every moment of every day. Our scripture comes from 2 Timothy 1:7. For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. And again, the affirmation, within God, I stand fearless.
Ahead may be unknown as I brave the unseen road. God, go with me. Every hidden sacrifice through the watches of the night, God, say the word that sets my heart on what you've done and who you are, God. You are for me. Every hard and heavy step, I will see your faithfulness, God. You are for me, for me. I am fearless in your presence. You're all around me, all around me. In my weakness, you are strongest. You surround me. You surround me. No fear in the crashing waves. No fear when the cost is great. No fear in the midnight hour. I'm filled with a spirit of power. No fear in the crashing waves. No fear when the cost is great. No fear in the midnight hour. I'm filled with a spirit of power. I am fearless in your presence. You're all around me, all around me. In my weakness, you are strongest. You surround me, you surround me. I am fearless in your presence. You're all around me, all around me. In my weakness, you are strongest. You surround me, you surround me.
Thank you. Phil Lieber on guitar and vocals. So, fearless. You know, avoiding dangerous situations like lions and tigers and bears and muggers, oh my, is a very smart thing to do. And as a human species, we developed an early warning system so that we could stay safe. And the truth is that without fear and some sort of rapid response, our species would have died out long ago. And so fear is critical to our survival at a very elemental level. And that early warning system, it works in such a way that the mere perception of potential danger activates a part of our brain so that it catapults us into action. And then we have to make a snap choice for flight, or freeze, or fight. Now, unfortunately, that early warning system has some flaws in it. And sometimes it will create false fears and false alarms. Now, we have a system here in this building that alarms us when there's danger. And it also has some flaws and some false alarms, and I got two of them. I got one late last night and one late the night before. And it turned out to be nothing. And so often that's the same with our early warning system. It turns out really not to be anything because most of our fears are of our own making. We create them to be big monsters under the bed, and in many cases, they turn out to be paper tigers. But what happens when we allow that fear to overtake us is that it prevents us from exploring beyond our own fear-based limitations, and we shrink our world and shrink our experience of life. Now, most of those false fears, those false alarms, have their origins in our early life, mostly when we're little tiny children. And many of us have not updated our systems since. And so we're still responding and reacting to things that we learned when we were little. And so we look at our current life through the lens of past conditioning. And then that impacts our current choices in life. We're making choices based on past experience that may not have been true even then. Our founder, Charles Fillmore, wrote, "Fear is one of the most subtle and destructive errors that the carnal mind in man experiences. Fear is a paralyzer of mental action. It weakens both mind and body. Fearfulness is a parasite. It drives away divine guidance and produces weakness of the heart. Fear throws dust in our eyes and hides the mighty spiritual forces that are always with us. Blessed are those who deny ignorance and fear and affirm the presence and power of spirit." So what I think he's really talking about there is moving away from fear and into faith, into the very living spirit that is within and all around us. So I thought it would be good for us to experience this at a deeper level, at a non-rational level, because sometimes our very best thinking can get us in a funky place. So I had a teacher once who said, the mind can be a scary place. Don't go in there alone. So always take spirit with you. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes or create a soft gaze and just allow your body to start to relax. Sit quietly and comfortably in your chair. Sit back, relax your body, quiet your mind, calm your heart, and open your spirit. Move your attention inward to the center of your being with your breath. Continue to breathe in deeply. And with your mind quiet, gently bring your focus to your breathing. Breathing in deeply through your nose, and let it surround your heart space, and then visualize your heart filled with warmth and soft radiating light, and exhale fully through the mouth. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the space, and exhale fully through your mouth. And just continue breathing in deeply and exhaling fully in the divine flow and the circulation of the breath of Father, Mother, God, Spirit. Feel Spirit breathing you. Continue this cycle of breathing throughout the meditation. Just feel as though your entire being is being filled with the breath of Spirit, inspiration. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, we experience Spirit. Breathing out, we express Spirit uniquely as us. And so I invite you to move deep within your own being, and recall any stories or experiences of your past that still cause you fear. Remember back maybe to when you were a little tiny tyke. Are there any stories or experiences that still bring up a little bit of fear in you now? Allow yourself to feel that fear. Just go ahead and feel it. It can't hurt you. It's a story. Just become aware of any fear from your past. Remember it. Feel it. And then ask yourself, is there any evidence that this fear is real? Or is it imagined, an illusion? Is there any evidence that the fear is real, or is it just imagined, illusion? Continue breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. Now ask yourself, are there any ways that this fear is still holding you back in your life today? Are there any ways that this old fear is still holding you back in your life today? Continuing to breathe in deeply and exhale fully. Ask yourself, is there some way that I believe that this fear has helped me? Do I still believe that it helps me in some way? Is there some payoff for me to hang on to this fear? Continue breathing. Is there some payoff for me to hang on to this old fear? Now imagine what might be the payoff for bringing this old fear out into the light and releasing it. What might be the payoff for bringing this old fear out into the light and letting it go? Breathe. Continue to breathe in deeply and exhale fully. And think about any current fears that you might have. What are some current fears that may be up for you now in your life? As you think about these current fears and anxieties, bring your attention to the sensations in your body as you think about these fears. Notice the sensations in your body. Allow your awareness to completely fill your body and notice what physical feelings you have, what mental thoughts, and what emotions you find. As you allow yourself to be completely aware of current fears, notice the physical feelings, mental thoughts, and your emotions. Fears may be something very personal and close to you. Could be something on a grand scale of what is going on in Sarasota or in the country or in the world. Feel those fears physically, mentally, emotionally. Now ask yourself, what am I afraid might happen? What do these fears bring up in me that I am afraid might happen? What am I afraid might happen? And again, ask, is there any evidence that these fears are real? Or are they imagined, an illusion? Is there any real evidence that the fears are real or that what we fear is happening? And ask yourself, how does my fear consume my energy and attention and hold me back in my life? How does my fear consume all my energy and attention and hold me back in living my life fully? Imagine what you might do with that energy and attention if it weren't consumed by your fears. Imagine all the wonderful things that you might do if you could give yourself back that energy and attention that you give to fear. And ask yourself, what do you perceive as the payoff for hanging on to these fears? What keeps you from letting go? What is the perceived payoff for hanging on? And now imagine what would be my payoff for releasing my fear? What would be in it for me to release my fear? And continue breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. Feel that sense of release. Begin to feel the fear lifting. And now let's begin to move away from fear and into faith. Begin by being fearless. Be fearless. Fear less. It's the first step. Fear less. And ultimately, fearless, moving into faith. Very consciously breathe in deeply into the center of your being, where Father, Mother, God, Spirit fills and surrounds you, is you. And now name the fear or the fears that you thought about earlier. So your word of fear might be lack or limitation or loss, rejection, criticism, judgment, disease, death. Name your word of fear. And imagine yourself bringing that fear, that word of fear, out from behind you, out in front of you, into the light. Imagine it as almost like a caterpillar sitting in your hands in front of you. And as you blow on it, the caterpillar becomes a butterfly. And the fear is released and the faith embraced. Name your word of fear: lack, limitation, loss, rejection, criticism, judgment, disease, death. And now, knowing that word of fear, let go of focusing on what you fear might happen and focus on what you hope happens instead. Let go of fear of what might happen and embrace what you hope happens. What do you hope happens instead? Think about what quality of Father, Mother, God, Spirit you want to experience in your life. What quality of spirit do you want to experience in your life? So your word of faith might be abundance or beauty or health, joy, love, peace, wisdom, creativity, vitality, wholeness. What is your word of faith? What is it that you want to experience, that you hope happens? Embrace your word of faith. Fill your being with this word of spirit, this word of faith. Abundance, beauty, health, joy, love, passion, peace, wisdom, creativity, vitality, wholeness, whatever it may be. Feel it in your body. Feel it physically in your body. Know it in your thoughts. Feel the emotion of it. Feel that word of faith fill your entire being and spill out around you. Breathe into it. Breathe in the experience of your word of faith, and then breathe out the expression of your word of faith. Breathe in deeply. Exhale fully. And in the silence of your own being, release your fear by saying, I release my fear belief in whatever your word of fear was. I release my fear belief in illness. So inside your own being and your own silence, say to yourself, I release my fear belief in whatever your fear word was. And see that fear floating away, disappearing. Let it go. And now move your attention to your word of faith. Whatever your word of faith was, wholeness, vitality, imagine and feel it. Feel it filling you up to overflowing as you literally become that quality of experience and expression. Embrace and embody your faith by saying, I am grateful God is the wholeness I am. So whatever your word of faith, I am grateful God is your word of faith, I am. I'm grateful God is the vitality I am. So silently within, I am grateful God is the blank I am. Breathe in that word of faith. Hold it in your soul. Release the breath. And gently begin to bring your awareness and attention back to this time and this space. Continue breathing in that divine cycle of breath. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and be here now, fearless.
Spirit living in me, let my heart be changed, renewed, flowing from the grace that I found in you. And I've come to know weaknesses I see in me will be stripped away by the power of your love. Hold me close, let your love surround me. Bring me near, draw me to your side. And as I wait, I'll rise up like the eagle. I will soar with you. Your spirit leads me on by the power of your love. Spirit living in me, let my heart be changed, renewed, flowing from the grace that I found in you. And I've come to know weaknesses I see in me will be stripped away by the power of your love. Hold me close, let your love surround me. Bring me near, draw me to your side. And as I wait, I'll rise up like the eagle. I will soar with you. The Spirit leads me on in the power of your love.
Thank you. Phil Lieber. This is an opportunity for us to remind ourselves that we are in the divine flow of the good of God, and that all good comes to us from that source and comes to us through us, and then is magnified and sent back out again to do greater work still, whether that be in the form of time, talent, or treasure. We give that which we have already received, the blessings of spirit, and we pass them on. They are meant to be shared. And for this, we are eternally grateful. And so I ask that any gift that you feel moved to give, we most greatly appreciate. There is a basket there on the pedestal in the back. We're not passing baskets because of health reasons, and so just leave your gift there, and we do appreciate it so much. It enables us to continue to serve and to keep the flow going, keep the flow moving, keep the river flowing, right? Right. Right. Okay.
What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? If I believed would the wind always fill up my sails? How far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What if it all meant to do secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like a mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, are there miracles in you and me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, would the voice of courage whisper in my ear? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I were brave, if I were brave, if I were brave.
If I were brave, I'd do all the things that I'm afraid to do, and so can you. So your assignment this week is to breathe out fear and breathe in faith, and continue to breathe in faith. And anytime the fear pops up, bring it out from behind. Imagine it's a caterpillar of fear. You blow on it, and it becomes a beautiful butterfly of faith. That's your homework. Blessings on your journey. Namaste.
What would I do